Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. Happy Thursday to everyone. It is time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. This is our daily update here from our little VW Restoration shop. So why don't we dive in here and see what happened today. So indoors today, at least in this part of the shop, pretty much me and Jacob. And then in the body shop, of course, Rene and Raul was back. He's been actually sick, poor guy. But yeah, he's back today. And actually, I'm not going to show you because I don't want to go outside right now because it is gross out. However, Raul actually started sanding the front trunk area. So basically, this area here on this 67 Beetle that's in for a full restoration. So kind of excited to get that started. The other Ghia, the orange one, the 70, that car is really coming right along, and there's really nothing left now for Raul to do on that one. So we went ahead and had him go ahead and start on the 67 Beetle. Pretty sure that we're going to have the orange Ghia painted excuse me, probably first thing next month. And so at this point, Rene, he's pretty much just dialing in body work on it to getting it ready for paint. He's also actually spending some time on the doors and the front and rear lids for this one because they obviously are not on it right now, and they are still in primer. And so he's going in pretty much today, spent the day dialing those in, getting those ready for paint. So yeah, between the doors and lids for this one and the kind of final body work for the orange 70, those are all pretty much Rene things. Those final high skill things. Again, really sort of dialing in the body work and stuff for paint. So yeah, in the meantime, Raul went ahead and started on that other one. So that's kind of what was going on there. I will come back to this, but needless to say, this is for the Ghia. So let's see what happened in the shop here today with Jacob and I. So I actually started off the day removing what was left of the rear suspension on this car. So the spring plates were still on. Transmission and stuff's been out for a while. This car's been on dollies for a while, but spring plate covers were still on. The Z-bar was still flopping around in there. So pulled all that stuff out today. So talked to Rene towards the end of today and told him, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and do the undercoating on this car. So I'm hoping that he can do it maybe first thing-ish next week, maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, because at that point we can start building this car. And so we've been kind of preparing all the parts, suspension and stuff like that, so that we can get this car back together, as soon as the undercoating's done. So yeah, we did on this car. It's probably hard to see. Yeah, there you can see. We went ahead and painted the fender wells on this car. They were pretty nice, and once the undercoating came off, it seemed kind of like a no-brainer to go ahead and paint those. But then, the shock towers, the frame horns, the whole underside of the chassis, all that stuff will get a nice coat of high-quality undercoating. And then the suspension parts and stuff will be painted, powder-coated, etc. But yeah, this is all looking pretty nice up underneath here. And so, yeah, the pan head over here, this will all be also undercoated. So, yeah, I went ahead and pulled the rear suspension, pulled the Z-bar out of that. And then at some point today, Jacob pulled the e-brake lever, the shift lever, pulled the pedal assembly, completely disassembled the pedal assembly, and blasted and painted the base of it already. And then the pedals and stuff themselves will go for powder coating. Let's see. Let me wander over here. I've got a pretty impressive pile of powder coating started for that car. So here's pretty much all the stuff. I think I'm going to make a run to powder coating tomorrow. So this car did have factory disc brakes. So those are the front disc brake backing plates. You see there. Rear drums, obviously, rear backing plates, sway bar, spring plates, part of the Z-bar links are in there. That's the Z-bar bar itself. So yeah, you can see some pedal assembly parts here. So yeah, this stuff I think is going over to our friends at Americoat in the morning, and this will all be semi-gloss black. BK05 is the code of that particular material that we use, which looks like that. Again, it's considered a semi-gloss. Anyway, guys, so yeah, lots of parts coming off this car today, and then some of these parts were already had been removed, but were, you know, sort of waiting. So yeah, nice big pile of parts for powder coating here. Jacob went ahead and already blasted and clear coated some of the e-brake parts, the rod and spring and stuff that go inside, the ratchet itself. So a lot of this stuff's already ready to go back on. Even the push rod for the brakes is blasted and clear coated to preserve it. So yeah, once this stuff comes back from powder coating, a lot of these sub-assemblies will be able to go back together, and the rear spring plates will be able to go back on. And the transmission is currently being built for this car, so our transmission guy I would guess he'll probably have this transmission back to us in next week or so. So again, that's why I'm kind of pushing Rene to go ahead and do the undercoating on this car, because as soon as this car is undercoated, I think we're going to have all these parts kind of like showing up that are powder coated and stuff like that, and this thing is going to go together pretty fast at that point. So before I talk about the interior for this car, let me mention a couple things on here. So we went ahead and put on the assist straps today and the coat hooks, which Jacob had previously cleaned. They were actually painted, the coat hooks. So went ahead and stripped those down and cleaned them up with some steel wool and installed new assist straps here, which look amazing. And let's see what else. Small things here. I did the pins, which were missing for the check rods with the little C-clips that go on them, which are quite tricky to install and not like shoot them across the room and lose them, but kind of got that down to a science. And then also the seals here. You can see that, yeah. So there is a rubber seal there. So those were missing. The pins didn't seem to be on here, so those went on. And then likewise, the brush for the horn went on, which on early cars, the wiring for these is super weird. There's like an isolated brass ring on the steering shaft right here that the wire here runs down to that little isolated copper ring, and then there's a brush that makes contact with that, so even when the steering shaft turns, the brush contacts it, and then that in turn sends the ground to the horn, and then the steering column itself is grounded. And so when you push the horn, you're basically taking the ground from the steering shaft, sending it down this wire to that copper ring, through the brush, and then through the horn. So it's a fairly convoluted system. Luckily, Wolfsburg West makes a very nice reproduction of this little spring-loaded brush here. This thing is pretty pricey. I don't remember what it cost, but I always remember being kind of shocked when I have to buy one. But that's what the early cars use, so you don't have a lot of choice. But anyway, so yeah, that went on today, and assist straps. Another thing which I went ahead and let Jacob do. Gotta let him do some fun stuff here and there. So one thing that he did was put on the correct clear US market bullet lenses, which look amazing. It had orange ones on it, which is not really correct for a US car, and they didn't really match. One of them was very like clouded looking and the other one was very clear. So yeah, correct looking lenses now, which just, yeah, it looked much better. The orange just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb on this black car with all the chrome and stuff, and then these sort of ugly orange lenses. They looked pretty bad. So anyway, got the right lenses on it now, so actually makes a pretty big difference. So that's pretty much kind of sums up what happened on this one today. So let's talk about this upholstery for a minute. So Santiago, our upholstery guy, of course, is freaking killing it on the upholstery for this car. So this is the original color that this car came with, which is I don't remember the name of it, but it's basically like an off-white or a very light cream with, of course, beautiful basket weave, and then we call it like smooth on the sides and on the back. And I love how the basket weave kind of wraps over the top, and then there's this separate piece here that kind of meets up with it. Just really beautiful seats in Ghias. Very different from seats in Beetles. Also much lower seats. So as you guys probably know on Beetles, well, here, let's open this up real quick. Beetle seats kind of sit up on the mount pretty high. You know, I mean, that's a good like 4 or 5 inches up off the floor there. Ghias, pretty much the seats sit more or less right on the floor. I mean, obviously there's a rail there that it sits on, much like a Beetle, but then the seat is pretty much just sitting right down on that versus being kind of raised up by the seat frame itself. So, which, you know, it's not very surprising, because if you look at the roof of a Ghia, it's very low compared to a Beetle, which has this, you know, sort of big bulbous roof on it. So yeah, seats that much lower. So overall, the driver is sitting much lower in a Ghia compared to a Beetle, even though, you know, the suspension, all that is essentially the same. You're just sitting a lot lower in the seat. The roof's a lot lower, etc. But yeah, the seats, front seats are done. The back seats, we had to have some wood repair done on those, and luckily we have a master woodworker right across the fence from us, John at Blue Ribbon Woodworks. You guys can look him up. He does a lot of like custom furniture and stuff like that. So this stuff's pretty easy for him. But basically he made this piece new, which is the seat bottom that you see here. So the one that was in the car, not surprisingly in that car, it was in okay shape, but you can see it was kind of like delaminating in some areas. But then the thing that kind of had us concerned was it was very sort of wavy and warped, and we were pretty sure that it just wouldn't really sit right, and it would probably always be shaped kind of weird. So yeah, we just went ahead and had him use that original one as a pattern and make a new one. And then the seat back rest portion itself was actually in pretty good shape, except this piece, which appeared to have gotten wet and was all essentially like crumbling apart. The one that was on here was made out of like particle board, and again, it had got wet at some point and it was all just flaking apart, especially around the edges. And so we had him basically replace just this piece here on the backrest. So new that piece on the backrest, and then completely new base here. So Santiago can go ahead and start upholstering those anytime. Literally just got these back today. The door panels, also amazing. So they did have this pattern that you see here. So we had the original door panels, which we used as a pattern, and then he went and stitched all those on there by hand on the machine, and of course the storage pocket there, etc. So yeah, really happy with how these are looking. Just amazing. And I don't know, guys, with this green and then the off-white interior, this car is gonna look so good. Very excited to see this car done. And then, you know, with the chrome on it, etc. So this car is a 68, which still had the bumpers with overriders and stuff like that. So quite a bit of chrome still on these cars. Still had the smaller tail lights. Still had bullet style front turn signals. So Yeah, this car, once it gets all its chrome on it and then this off-white interior, this thing is going to be stunning. So very excited to see this car coming together here, which should be happening very soon once we get this undercoating going here and start assembling it. Well, all right, guys, I think that is actually it for today. So as always, I appreciate you guys all watching, and thanks for all the great comments and conversation that we always kind of have back and forth on our content here. Much appreciated. So thank you again, guys, for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.